People who grew up in the 1970s were wired by an environment that built resilience before comfort, patience before convenience, and strength before emotional explanation. They were raised in a world without Wi-Fi, without smartphones, without instant validation, no likes, no filters, no GPS, and because of that, their minds were wired differently. The people who grew up in the 1970s developed a psychological blueprint that most people today struggle to understand. They learned independence before dependence, patience before convenience, real connection before digital noise. And if you pay close attention, you'll see something powerful. Many of their strengths, and even their emotional struggles, were quietly shaped by that era. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who grew up in the 1970s. What shaped them, how it affected their personality, and why it still shows in the way they think, love, work, and handle pressure. 1. Independence was not optional. It was survival. In the 1970s, children weren't constantly supervised. Many were what psychologists now call latchkey kids. They walked to school alone, played outside for hours, came home when the streetlights turned on. No constant texting, no tracking apps, no hovering. Psychologically, this built strong self-reliance, problem-solving skills, emotional endurance, early responsibility. They learned how to figure things out, alone. If something broke, they tried to fix it. If they fought with a friend, they handled it face-to-face. If they failed, they dealt with it quietly. But here's the deeper psychological impact. Because they had to handle things alone, many developed a strong outer shell. They don't easily show vulnerability. They may struggle to ask for help. Independence became part of their identity. Strength? Absolutely. But sometimes, emotional isolation too. 2. They value face-to-face connection deeply. The 1970s were built on in-person interaction. You didn't DM someone. You knocked on their door. You didn't scroll for entertainment. You created it. Board games, neighborhood conversations, long dinner talks. This built strong social intuition, deep eye contact communication, emotional reading skills, real-life conflict resolution ability. People from that era often feel disconnected in today's digital world because their brain was wired for physical presence, not screens. They may say things like, "People don't talk anymore. Everyone is always on their phone." It's not just complaining. It's neurological contrast. Their formative years trained their brain for tangible interaction, not digital validation loops. 3. They developed high frustration tolerance. In the 1970s, you waited for photos to be developed. You waited for letters in the mail. You waited for your favorite show to air next week. There was no instant gratification. Psychologically, this built patience-delayed gratification, long-term thinking, emotional control under boredom. Today, dopamine hits come instantly. But people raised in the 70s learned to sit in discomfort. That's why many of them stay longer in relationships, stay committed to careers, push through hardship instead of quitting immediately. However, this also means they may tolerate too much, staying in situations longer than they should. 4. They have a strong work ethic, sometimes to a fault. The 1970s mindset emphasized work hard, don't complain, earn everything. Many were raised by parents who experienced economic shifts and global tensions. Stability mattered. Psychologically, this created discipline, loyalty, financial caution, identity tied to productivity. For many who grew up in the 70s, work is not just income, it's dignity. But here's the shadow side. They may struggle with burnout. They may feel guilt resting. They may judge themselves harshly when not being productive. Their nervous system learned that value equals effort. 5. Emotional expression was often limited. In many households of the 1970s, emotions weren't deeply discussed. You were told to be strong, stop crying, handle it. This created resilience, but also emotional suppression. Psychologically, this can lead to difficulty expressing vulnerability, trouble articulating feelings, emotional bottling, stoic personality traits. They may love deeply but struggle to say it openly. They may care intensely but show it through actions, not words. To understand them, you must read behavior, not just listen to speech. 6. They are skeptical and harder to manipulate. Growing up during political shifts, economic uncertainty, and cultural change built awareness. People raised in the 1970s often question narratives, distrust quick promises, value proof over hype. Because they didn't grow up with constant advertising algorithms targeting them, they developed a natural filter. This psychological skepticism makes them harder to emotionally manipulate, slower to trust, but deeply loyal. Once they commit, trust is earned, not assumed. 7. They experienced freedom and real consequences. The 1970s were a time of cultural change. Music evolved, social norms shifted, exploration increased, freedom was present, but consequences were real. You learned lessons directly, not through online warnings. Psychologically, this built accountability, real-world experience, personal responsibility. They understand cause and effect deeply because they experienced it firsthand, not through simulation. 8. They may struggle with today's fast emotional culture. Modern culture encourages public vulnerability, constant sharing, immediate emotional processing. For someone raised in the 70s, this can feel overwhelming. They may prefer privacy. They may process emotions internally. They may not understand oversharing culture. But this doesn't mean they lack emotion. It means they were trained in emotional containment. 9. They often have strong nostalgia. And its psychological nostalgia isn't just missing the past. For people who grew up in the 1970s, nostalgia represents slower pace, community closeness, simpler communication, tangible experiences. Their brain associates that era with safety and identity formation. That's why 70s music, movies, and even smells can trigger powerful emotional responses. It's not just memory, it's neurological imprinting. 10. They adapted, and that might be their greatest strength. Think about this. They went from rotary phones to smartphones, from vinyl records to streaming platforms, from handwritten letters to instant messaging, and they adapted. That level of psychological flexibility is powerful. It means they can survive change. They can learn new systems. They understand both analog and digital worlds. That dual perspective makes them uniquely balanced. The psychology of people who grew up in the 1970s is built on independence, patience, resilience, face-to-face connection, work ethic, emotional containment, adaptability. They are not outdated. They are differently wired. And understanding that wiring helps bridge generations instead of judging them, because every era shapes the brain differently. And the 1970s shaped a generation that learned strength before comfort. If this resonates with you, drop a comment and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to PhysioStick for more psychology facts like this.